Welcome to this CostrixIQ demonstration video regarding the changes log. So the changes log has been built really to manage communication with the client throughout the entire project journey, from the time you're appointed in sales all the way through to signing that construction contract and getting executed. And it's to ensure that you're managing client expectations and that they are always fully aware of how the cost plan has changed over time and why it has changed over time. So within CostrixIQ, we have built a changes log module that automates this process and manages those client expectations. So you'll see we're at the dashboard level. There is the ability to take a snapshot on the changes log. So let me show you the changes log tab. So what you'll see here is, in this make-believe scenario, we have taken five different snapshots throughout this project journey of the current state. And what you'll notice is the first snapshot has no coloring because that is the first snapshot. That is the benchmark we're using going forward. And then at a point in time, the client has decided to add certification to the project. And so we would have gone into the cost planner, added the certifications into the project, taken a snapshot, and that would have automatically created this additional version of the project. And what you will see is that any change from this version to this version is automatically highlighted in yellow. So we can see in this difference between cost plan revision A and cost plan revision B is certifications. Certifications was prior $0, is now $79,750. The project values or totals have changed. And then what we can see at the bottom is we have an external notes and an internal notes. And in this version, we've said option 1 certifications have now been included within the scope of works as instructed by the client on the 13th of November 2024. And so that would have been cost plan revision B, snapshotted, issued to the client. Now at a point in time on this project, the client has asked for an additional room added to the scope. And so what the team would have done is they would have come in, added the scope to the works, added some partitioning, added some floor coverings, maybe some joinery. But before they issue that to the client, they want to get that checked off by an internal manager. And so what they would have done is they would have taken a snapshot, but in this instance, instead of classifying it as external, they've classified it as an internal snapshot. And so that is what you see here at snapshot 3. You can see that is an internal snapshot, extra room added to scope. The system has automatically color-coded the changes in pricing. So partitioning has increased, floor coverings has increased, and joinery has increased, as has some of the project totals. And then in the internal notes area, the user has added snapshot for manager review of the pricing related to the extra room added to scope. Have only marked up joinery by 5%. This needs to be discussed. So at this point in time, the user and the manager would have sat down and reviewed this scope and the pricing. And they would have done that in here. And at a point in time in this make-believe scenario, the manager has adjusted the pricing once again. And this time they're ready to issue it to the client. So they would have come back to the dashboard, click the snapshot button, and you would have had external snapshot, the 4th snapshot in the sequence. But as you can see, external, external, internal, external. So this is now cost plan revision C. You can see in this scenario, the only change between the external and the internal is joinery has been increased. So where the user priced joinery at $277,000, the manager's gone in and made some adjustments on the sell side to increase that to 301, which is showing an increase in profitability from a percentage side and a dollar side. It's interesting to note on the internal notes, we're noting that the manager increased the joinery to 100% markup on review. So we're documenting the internal changes. And now this is an external snapshot. So under our external notes, we've written updated cost plan based on extra room added to scope, including partitioning, joinery, and flooring works as instructed by CFO at PCG meeting 3. So they're our external notes. And then we continue along the design process, the design journey, and things are always changing. And extra scope has been added in again. The client has decided to take up an option that was shown below the line, but also we've gone out to get some, the storage and racking has been designed to a state that we can go get some market pricing. We're maybe not carrying our numbers, and so we've adjusted some of our storage and racking pricing. So once again, the users are working within the cost planner, adjusting scope, adjusting markup, cost and sell rates throughout. They would have included one of the options below the line, which would have been as simple as just removing a tag. Simply removing a tag will take an option from below the line to above the line. And in this scenario, they would have been happy to issue the client report externally. So again, they would have come in, taken a snapshot, and that would have created a further external snapshot, which would have been to the client cost plan revision D. And again, we can see automatically the colors are highlighted. We can see joinery has moved from 301,000 to 311,000, so that's gone up. But storage and racking has moved from $61,000 selling to $46,000 selling, so storage and racking has come down. And we can see the adjustment, and in our external notes, we have a reduction in storage and racking based on designer selection and market validated pricing. Joinery has increased due to the inclusion of option 5, the upgrade to the reception desk. So we're continually tracking the changes both externally and internally across our snapshots. Now this is an internal changes log review. On the internal side, you obviously see your cost, your sell, and your profitability. But now we want to produce a report that is safe to send to the client externally. And this is the critical element where the client needs to understand what has changed between cost plan revisions. And so from this dashboard, we have a button at the top called Create External Report. And this is going to create a completely clean external report that you can send to the client. What it is going to do, it is going to pick up the external snapshots only. So it will skip over the internal snapshots. So while we have 5 snapshots, it will report on 4. And it will report on change to change of external to external. So the changes are as far as the client has seen. So let's create that report now simply by clicking the button, confirming we want to proceed. The report is now loading in the background. The report is now produced. We have confirmation that the changes log has successfully exported and can be viewed externally. And what you'll see here is a slightly different version of the internal changes log. So as mentioned, 4 cost plans have been issued to the client: revision A, revision B, revision C, and revision D. There was an internal snapshot taken, but that has not been included. The first snapshot includes just the totals as a benchmark, and then every subsequent snapshot after that includes the total and a change column. The change column automatically highlights changes. Anything that has increased is red. Anything that has decreased is green. So very quickly, the client can see every cost plan that has been issued to them and what has moved up and down. And included with every cost plan are the notes. Now it only includes the external notes, not the internal notes. And so as you can see in this journey, first cost plan issued based on sketch plan dated 8th of November 2024. 3376. It then increased by about $80,000 to 3456 because option 1 certifications have now been included within the scope of works as instructed by the client on the 13th of November 2024. Cost plan revision C was issued for 3536, which is roughly another $80,000 increase, and that is the updated cost plan based on extra room added to scope, including partitioning, joinery and flooring works, as instructed by CFO at PCG meeting number 3. And then we have cost plan revision D, which had some ups and downs, reduction in storage and racking based on designer selection and market validated pricing. Joinery has increased due to the inclusion of option 5, the upgrade to the reception desk. So you can see in this process how you can manage your client's expectations when it comes to the cost planning, the financial reporting, and most importantly, the changes as they occur through this process. Your clients should always be aware of where the numbers stand and that journey of the numbers over time, and the changes log module is what support that process. I'm now going to just demonstrate quickly how you take a snapshot. So we will now add a 5th snapshot to this. So I will now close this down. So we're now in the cost planner, and let's say the client now wants to include a further option. They now want to include audio visual. And what you will see above the line is audio visual is currently 0, because within the options, we have an audio visual option sitting here for $198,000. So let's say now that client wants to include this option within the scope. I come to my cost planner, I find my audio visual section. I have tagged as option 6 audio visual. I simply remove the tags. As simple as that. The option is now included above the line. I come to the dashboard. I take a snapshot. Now let's say this is an external snapshot. I don't need to get an internal review of it before it goes out. So the system asks, is this an external snapshot? I'm going to confirm as yes. It automatically loads, and as you can see, snapshot taken and added to the changes log. So this is now my snapshot. If I scroll across to the left, you can see all my previous snapshots, so it's been added to the end. I'm now going to call this cost plan revision E. Within my external notes, I'm going to now say option 6 audio visual has now been included within the scope of works as instructed by the CTO at PCG number 5. And then as you can see, the margin has reduced as a percentage from 24.57 to 23.13 because our option did not have the same markup as the average project size. And so internally, I might say profitability percent has decreased due to AV package being marked up at 10%. So from here, you can see that we have a further external snapshot. We can see that audio visual was previously at 0. It is now at $198,000. You can see under the options tab, which I haven't gone into, the change here. Audio visual has reduced to 0, where it was previously within the options area. So everything has been updated. Now I want to produce my external report to the client as I issue cost plan revision E. I go back to my button and I create my external report. My external report is now successfully completed. Click OK. And now previously where we had 4 cost plan revisions, you can see it's automatically updated with cost plan revision E. You can see that audio visual is highlighted as the change with the $198,000 increase. and therefore the totals have gone up. And you can see option 6, audio visual, has now been included in the scope of works as instructed by the CTO PCG number 5. And so now you can see every snapshot over time. Now let's say at the very end of the project, the client wants you to report on, well, don't worry about all the individual changes. I want to understand from that very first cost plan you issued, what has changed over time to the one we're now executing as part of the contract, let's say. So I don't want to include these, revision B, revision C, revision D in my external snapshot. Well, we can decide what we want to include in the external report. And it's as simple as I want to include the first snapshot, revision A. Revision B, it's still an external snapshot, but I want to exclude it from the reporting. Revision C, I want to exclude from the reporting. Revision D, I want to exclude from the reporting. So of my external snapshots, I'm left with A and E. So now when I produce an external report, the system will take only the exports tagged as external and include them. And as you can see, it has now produced itself. We now only have 2 versions of the changes log. We have cost plan revision A, which was our benchmark. We have cost plan revision E. And what you can see is all the changes between E and A, or A to E. So we're picking up the certifications were changed, we're picking up some partitioning, some floor covering, some joinery, storage racking has gone down, audio visuals now included. So that is how you can include the 2 versions of, or exclude any external snapshots that you may not want to report on. Now understand these are Excel files, clean Excel files with no formula, no links, completely editable. You can issue these out to the client, or you can print a PDF and issue them as PDF. And so in summary, that is the functionality of the changes log. It is critical in managing that client journey over time and ensuring that they are comfortable with the pricing of the project at every single stage. They understand how numbers have moved to ensure that you remain aligned and there aren't any issues later down the track. If you're interested in learning any more about the changes log or CostrixIQ in general, please reach out.